Enter Shaolin, we believe in over-delivering on great content that answers all your questions. People from all over the world are looking for Kung Fu that is not watered down. For the past 30 years, Sifu has been passing down his knowledge of Kung Fu that was taught to him from his family. While we teach Wing Chun, Tai Chi, Qigong, Qina, women's self-defense, ground fighting and much, much more. Everything we teach is taught through the filter of No Dakna, Sifu's family martial arts system. It's not enough to just teach you a technique. Have you ever felt like even after learning a technique you still don't know how and when to use it? That's okay if it is, because you have come to literally the best online Kung Fu training site you will find on the internet. I know it's a bold claim. That's why we have a 14-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked policy. If after joining us, you don't think we have delivered on the goods, simply email us letting us know that we disappointed you. And we will give you your money back. You have absolutely nothing to lose. We didn't believe that anyone was interested in learning Kung Fu online. However, CJ Jamie knew in her heart that if she built it, they would come. And come they did. We have members from all walks of life and all levels of experience. That's not all. This isn't like joining one of those martial art membership sites where you get a few videos and no interactive training. Here at Enter Shaolin you get instant access to over 1,400 Kung Fu lessons. Other sites only let you have one lesson a week and charge you $57 a month. You have questions, we have answers. We will answer your questions or we will shoot videos for you personally. By now, you probably realize you have found the golden dragon of Kung Fu. You can keep on doing what you are doing, or you can finally learn all the hidden decoder ring secrets that nobody else will teach you. In most cases they aren't trying to hide the secrets from you. They simply don't know them. Unfortunately, over the years the martial arts have gotten watered down. We believe you deserve nothing but the best. Don't you? That's why we pour out our hearts and souls into creating the best site on the internet for you to come, learn and be a part of our family.
Hey family, what is up? Welcome to another public Q&A here at Enter Shaolin / Enter Tai Chi. I'm your host, CJ Jamie.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Oh, I thought you were saying.
I just didn't know if they can hear me.
Oh, can you guys hear Sifu Larry? This is Sifu Fu. That was Sifu Larry that just said hello. Let us know if you can hear him. I made him mic up today because we have another mic, so we should use it. I mean, we should use it. Seems right. Seems fitting. So, hey family, obviously we're here to answer your questions about Kung Fu, what we do here at Enter Shaolin, stuff about New Dakna.
Oh,
and
I wasn't plugged in.
You weren't plugged in? Are you serious?
I really stink at this.
He wasn't plugged in.
We need like a real sound person. I play guitar.
As soon as I can afford to replace you for sound guy, I got you, bro. I'll take care of that. I'll set you free from that responsibility as soon as possible. So what's up?
Well, I got a mic on, not much.
Oh, well, okay. So should we address your question?
Yeah, you really want to. I had to hear it all week.
No, you didn't hear it all week, actually.
I felt like I heard it all week. Was it buzzing in my head?
It must have just been you.
Go ahead, you do it though.
You told me about it, and then we didn't talk about it until you asked me about it on Monday. So you gotta come back. You're part of the crew.
No, you do it. I want to just play with the camera.
You just want to play. All right. Well, no, didn't you ask a question? Didn't you put it up on the video? Yeah. So you made the poll. You gotta tell the people about the poll.
Oh, you want me to do something?
Don't be shy. Come on in.
Well, last week we did a webinar and we had people tell us that leave Sifu alone, let him teach however he wants, stop stopping him from talking, give us more free stuff, more, give me more. We're not going to give you nothing, but give me more. Sorry. See, that's why you don't want me talking. I'm just going
No, that's actually why I wanted you to talk. That's exactly what I was asking for. So yeah, two people complained about last week's webinar, and couple funny things. One, they're like, stopping Sifu made expansion not looking good on these Q&As. That's coming from a major pride and ego standpoint, because we all discussed ahead of time that, and we've been talking about this actually for a while, that we have to stop sharing too much, because our members who actually, pay for our services and help us to be able to provide for our families, and also, get tons more, for doing so, and tons of benefit on their end. They're our priority. So it's not that One, we were just joking and we had a great time. Like we talked for like an hour after the webinar. Like all went home feeling amazing about the webinar that you're complaining about. 2 people. And I'm only addressing this because this is like a big thing we've seen in the past, like numerous times. And that's the only reason I'm even giving this any kind of breath. But it just goes to show like you guys don't know our hearts and you obviously don't know like us. Like we're a family. Like we joke, we have fun with each other. There's no pride and ego here. Okay, just none. So please take that and fix that. Fix yourself on that because that's not healthy. Kenny's like, dude, this BS, the members controlling what you say is ruining these Q&A sessions. I'm sorry that you feel that way because we had someone that had just seen our stuff for the first time on Facebook last week say it was gold, what we were sharing. So we're still sharing a ton. And if you didn't hear all the gold nuggets last week, you maybe need to go back and revisit that because there's plenty of information that we've put on YouTube in the past and on Facebook in the past and even currently as of last week that there's tons of stuff for you to piece together, probably too much. And so it's not that our members are controlling us. We've talked about this before about giving away too much. We all have. So this has been something that we've been thinking about for a while is how can we serve our personal community, our members, our family members at Enter Shaolin more and still be able to give you people on YouTube and Facebook or wherever that's watching this, the ability to see enough to make a decision whether this is something you want to continue training in and invest in yourself in or not. And you don't have to, like ever. And you can unsubscribe. It's all good. It's okay. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, let's move on to who is currently on right now. So give me a moment. I have to refresh my screen for some reason. They said it was live, but then it pulled up the previous one. So let me go on here. But yeah, it's a little frustrating. But I think our family, I don't think we're good. Our family members, they know what's up. And that's really all that matters at the end of the day. All right, let's see who is on and give them a shout out. I do not know why this is acting so bizarre. Oh, there's more people taking the poll. Awesome. Yeah, it always says, and his suggestion, if it's that much of an issue, do basic applications, not so basic one. That's pretty much what we do. We started, and that was kind of the whole point of last week. Like, we'll give you guys the basics, but if you're looking for more, it costs us money to put on these events and do these things and all the stuff that we do for you guys and gals, so this is what we do. So we're giving plenty back, period, end of story. So, and you can look over the past, 8 years of content to see that for yourself. All right, so we have Bob on coming in from North Carolina. I hope that is the first one. I see something where the poll is, but I can't get it out of my view for some reason. So hopefully I'm not missing anyone above Bob. If someone's above Bob at the very top, please re-comment so I can see it again. Ed is on. We have OR coming in from Virginia. We got Matthew coming from Michigan. Jay coming in from New Jersey. What part of New Jersey, Jay? We're in New Jersey too. Austin is coming in from Iowa. We got Sandy coming in from India. This is Namaste family. Missed you too. And we're going to see you tomorrow as well on the members Q&A. John says, hi family, South Jersey here. Hope all is well. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a hectic past couple weeks, but we are doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing good too, brother. 80 Shelby said, good evening, everyone from Chicago. How's the weather, brother? I don't know if it's, extra crazy over there right now. I know our weather is kind of going up, down, and all around over here.
If you have questions, write them down
now.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you want your stuff to go to the top, for those of you at least on YouTube, you can do the little $sign and send us a little tip. It doesn't have to be anything, be $1, it doesn't matter. But it'll bring your guys' stuff to the top. Steven is coming from Colorado. Awesome, Steven. What part of Colorado? Sandy says, my regards to Sifu Fu, Sifu Jamie, Sifu Larry. He told me, says, why is it so hard to move the way I want in a 16-ounce boxing gloves? I got some wrist torque, but it feels like it's all hips. We were just talking about this on Monday with Gil, Sifu Larry, about boxing gloves. I don't know if you can hear me.
What?
I said what he's asking about. He told me. I said we were just talking about like why you can't get much torque in your wrists and stuff with boxing gloves on, which we were talking about that with Gil on Monday.
Because you got no wrist.
Pretty much.
That's one. The other
That's
thing
one.
is there's the weight in the glove. So as you extend further, there's more pressure putting your shoulders down. So that's why we counteract by putting our shoulders up. That's a natural thing you'll do. Which is why boxing, they do that. They'll bring the arm up and they come high and they bring that. It's a natural reaction for your body to compensate that pressure on your hands down. You'll find that when you punch with gloves and without gloves, they're different. They're just different. Old style boxing, they used to box this way. The style boxing, they do it this way because the gloves changed everything. When you are punching with that glove, as you bring your arms out, there is this weight, like I said, that just is pushing down on your arm. It may not be much, but when you're doing it over and over, it does get heavier and heavier on your arms. So that's why they'll go like, and bring it up higher, because that'll help compensate for the weight coming down. There's a lot of things that happens. When you wear, like I said, no gloves, you have a lot more torque in your wrist, so you just have a better way of exploding the energy out. When you have gloves, you have to kind of like throw it out. So I'm not saying that doesn't work, because it's still effective. It just, again, it requires more energy. It requires more force to generate at that time. Whereas here, you can snap it out. Whereas if you wear gloves, you kind of have to throw it out, because you can't snap, because that weight does create more resistance to you. It creates more a weight for your arm and your shoulders. So that's why they do that. And again, when you're doing like with the wrist, all that energy you can use to explode out from the wrist in the end. Whereas when you're boxing, you don't do that. You got to drive through, because the wrist can't create that snap well. And that's why the effect of a punch is different.
Indeed, indeed. But yeah, that's why it's not, you're just not going to be able to get enough torque at all. That's why we don't, well, we personally don't train with gloves, but yeah, that's why. It says, I'll be back. All right, brother. We got Clint coming on, aka Wing Chun in application, coming in from Arkansas. Good to see you on, brother. Bob says, I love your teaching style. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I'm trying to, so you guys are kind of like chatting back and forth, so I'm trying to find the next line to go down. I love seeing you guys talking back and forth. That is awesome. Building relationships. Bob says, can we get an application of snakes creeps down out, please?
Do we do that for the webinar for the Shaolin, or we do it here?
We can give them a short version, right? More detailed
one application of snake creeps down, okay, is basically if she's, so you're talking about from this part here when you do like this, right? This is one Now, this is one application. If she's punching me, okay, I can come in this way and draw it out that way towards her. So this is one of the application where you just have to sink back and then you can drive it up towards them. So that's a basic, simple. If they're punching you, like I said, it's just come in and then get that hand right towards their face and just bring it up right into them. That's a basic application. So when you're drawing like this, it's to parry any punch that comes at you and then take that set. This can hit their arm. This can go over their arm. It doesn't matter. The idea is to break their balance from that and hit them. Or I can break their balance this way. And then the shifting of the weight is to hit the hand into them. It's a basic fundamental practice. The other way of snake creeps down is drawing someone's pressure down if they're grabbing you. There's different ways, but I'll just show one. Okay. Like I said, a fundamental is that snake creeps down like this. Okay, it is to parry any punch, like I said, just parry, cut the arm into there. When you strike them, this is the hand that wants to hit them in the head at the same time. It's a basic fundamental move.
That's some good information right there. And hey, members, if you guys and gals want, we will cover that more in depth on tomorrow's webinar. Which, speaking of members, I have some bad news. Last week's webinar, for some reason, did not record all the way. It only recorded like a minute or two. And we looked everywhere trying to figure out if we could recover something or fix something, and it's just gone. We don't know what happened to it.
for the Enter Shaolin?
Yeah, and it was a really good one last week too. So if there's anything from last week that you guys want us to recover to make sure it actually gets recorded, let us know. We'll do that for you guys and gals tomorrow. And let us know if you want some more on that application right there too.
I am releasing.
Oh, what you releasing? What's up? What's up, brother?
I got a microphone.
You got a microphone. Turn it on.
Yeah. I can hear me.
You're so special. All right. So what's
Wait,
up?
no. What was it? February 3rd. I'll be putting out February 3rd tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Well, I edited it today.
Up since that one is missing from last week.
It's like an hour. It's like an hour and 30 minutes.
Nice. All right. Well, I will. Will that be up tomorrow? You said tomorrow. Okay. So I'll send you guys out an email for the members so you guys can access that once that is up. All right. So it says, I'll be honest, finding you on here is the reason I joined up. Oh yeah, a lot of people joined because of that, but then a lot of people don't ever join and just enjoy the free content, which is fine too. Let's see. It always says, then here's a suggestion if that's too much of an issue. Okay, yeah, we already covered that one. All right. The chat just popped again. Okay, so we covered that one. We got that. Tamika says, Jersey, where's I'm from, but I'm in Maryland. Well, you're not too far away then still. Very cool. Matthew says, I just became a member the other day and tried signing up with the feedback group, but still waiting to be added. Also, I really want to learn Wing Chun, but have no training partner at the moment. Hey, Matthew, one, let's set up an orientation so we can help you further on what you want to do. And two, I will look into that. We usually check the Facebook group like once a week. So usually that's on Fridays, and I will be taking care of that either tomorrow or Friday at the very, very latest and get you all plugged in there. Soon, though, we will be having our community off of Facebook, which will be way cooler and just a way better experience and a part of the site. So I'm looking forward to that. We can move everyone over. Richard says Facebook is acting up. Yeah. What's up? Oh. That might be us. Apparently, Super Larry said that our signal just dropped on our end. So he is investigating to see if he can fix anything in regards to that while we are catching up with you all. Abaki says, you know how most styles deflect then attack, but yours is more like a deflect attack. I think you called it hands having the intention to strike. What's a good video where you break that down? So you're talking about just like counter attacking.
What good video?
Yeah.
For what? Enter Shaolin?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Or is he talking about the YouTube video?
I don't know if he's a member, so I'm sure he's just curious in general. So.
Well, basically, our philosophy is we don't defend. It's mentally in the wrong state of mind. Physically, it puts in the wrong way of dealing with energy. We don't wait for it to come to us. We will hit into it. It's like putting your arm up to blocking. You're taking all the pressure. When we put our arm up, we do the exact same type of positioning. The only difference is we actually turn into the hit. We don't let it come to hit us. We hit into it. You know, Jesus always said, whoever falls on a stone it will crush them, but if a stone falls on them, it will grind them to powder. And it's the same difference. It's the way who's getting the energy. If he's coming to you and you're receiving, you're taking the impact. If you could turn and strike your point of contact smaller and you learn how to accelerate that into them, then they're taking the point of impact. So that's the whole idea of the philosophy of like why we don't defend. You know, I always ask people like, this one question: if you had to be in a fight and you can choose to be either one attacking or the one just defending, what would you rather be? The one, you know, taking all the hits and trying to block from getting hit, or the one to hit? Most everybody says, I'd rather be the one attacking, right? That's your basic fundamental idea that if you're in a fight, you'd rather be the one attacking. So why learn self-defense? Why you learn to defend? It's wasting your time. You already said that you'd rather be the one attacking, right? So train to attack or counterattack. Right. Don't train to defend. That's the first and foremost, the basic thing. The second thing is, like I said, your mindset is off. When you think defensive, you think not getting hurt. So you're not trying to hurt them, you're trying to stop them from hurting you. So your objective is to get them away from you. When you think attack, you think of getting into them. So when people do like parries or any type of, they try to get the hands away. They're not attacking, they're pushing. They're getting rid of hands rather than getting in. I always tell my students mentally, don't think of getting their hands out, think of getting your hands in. That's the way you have to have your mental state. That's why we always create the attack or counterattack. I always say if you can't attack, counterattack. If you can't counterattack, attack. But you don't defend. You don't wait for it to come to you and try to get rid of it. You go into them and you hurt it so it goes away. You don't have to get rid of the hands. So when people are defensive, when they're packing, they get that push, they're not doing damage. They're trying to stop the damage. Me, I hit them, and trust me, when they get hit, they don't want to keep going. I do the damage. In a fight, 3 things stops them from attacking, right? Knock them out, lock them out, or they get what they want. So if you're not doing one of the, obviously, we don't. If they're trying to hurt you, you don't want them to like get them what they want, right? So if they want your money, give it to them, they'll go away, right? If they're trying to, hit you till you go to the floor and cry like a baby, they'll keep doing that until you do. So obviously, they're trying to hurt you. It's one of 2 things. You either get into a locking position where you lock the joints out or put them in choke or whatever, or you get the other one, you strike them, do enough damage where they don't have the energy or the physical capacity to continue. So any defensive techniques will not work because it's not following on that lines. So that's why we follow the lines of we attack, we counterattack. We do not defend. So if someone's punching us, I'm not trying to stop it from hitting me. I'm going to hit into it and then hit into them. That's the basic philosophy of why we don't deflect, we don't parry, because you're actually giving him time to strike you anyways. So if you're deflecting someone's hand, they can already throw another punch into your face by that time. You're not putting pressure on them so that they have to go on the defensive side. You're trying to take pressure off you so you can stay in the defensive side. So you don't want that. You always want to create that attack, 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 or counterattack. It's one of the 2.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. I was going over to Facebook to see who's on. We got Mark. Marcos is also on. Good to see you on. All right, family. Let's see what else we got going over here. All right, we covered that one. See if I can find where we were at. It jumped again. Okay, there's Edie Tolby. We covered him.
I don't know where January 27th is either.
What's up?
He asked about January 27th. I don't know where that is either.
Oh, you weren't able to find that one either?
Nah, I'm looking at the cards. I don't know.
Oof. Okay. So it says, I'm curious if you know Pak Mei Kung Fu style and if anything that relates to NDN in regards to it.
I don't know Pac-Man Kung Fu. I don't know what it is.
So I actually
I've heard
looked it up.
I've heard it,
I was
but
like,
I've never.
So here's what the internet says. That it is a 4 centuries old authentic Kung Fu style that was created under the Manchu Qing dynasty in 1644 through 1911 by a Taoist monk. According to the legend, Pak Mei would have developed his boxing style on the Emi or Mi, I don't know how to pronounce that mountain, that's located in the Sichuan province. So supposedly it's the deadliest style with special breathing techniques using the abdomen. We'd have to research it to comment on that, but as far as we know, we don't know. We don't know if there's any similar techniques or whatnot, but Indian's not derived from it because this is our first time really learning about it. So that's that.
Well, any style really, they all share some type of principle somewhere. Use the hip, get your root, snap out. All there's similar style somewhere.
There's nothing new under the sun,
right.
as they say.
So they all share something in common.
So yeah, if they're teaching internal martial arts, like real legit stuff, or have been, or were the real legit stuff, because that's been 4 centuries old, then yeah, it might be different names or different ways of explaining, or teaching the techniques, but at the end of the day, physics is physics, energy is energy, a body's a body. If it's done right, then it's done right. Gary says, plus, whoa, Gary, plus I would think that you would become dependent on the protection of the globe and become hesitant. What is he talking about? Oh, glove. Okay, the glove. I was like, we're talking about some flat earth stuff? What's going on here, brother? Let me know, Gary. So he basically said, plus he would think that You become dependent on the protection of the glove and become hesitant. Not just that, it weakens your wrist too over time, especially when they tape them up and stuff like that. So yeah.
The advantage of wearing gloves is you don't have to worry about breaking your hands. This is why they would start wearing gloves. All those boxers in the day, when they didn't wear gloves, they broke their hand.
Right.
So that's why the glove was developed, and that's why boxing today has it. Because now the problem with that is you could strike because your hand gets taped up, your wrist gets taped up and everything. You can strike wrong, actually, and still do damage because you're protected. You got the glove. So you could wind up hitting in a way which would break your last two knuckles. And you wouldn't know it because you're taped up and you got gloves to protect the hand from breaking. Now you fight in the street, you wind up breaking your hand. You know, back in the day, it was, I forget who it was, that Mike Tyson, they got into the street and they fought. They were supposed to fight in the ring, but they wanted to fight in the street anyways. But the guy broke his hand. You know, Tyson hit him, punched him in the eye, but the guy also hit Tyson back. But he wound up breaking his hand. Now, if he had the boxing gloves, he wouldn't break his hands. But wearing no gloves, he broke his hand. You know. So that's why, like I said, they started wearing the gloves because these fighters who were fighting wouldn't be able to fight for over a year if they broke their hand, you know? So the gloves were invented for that reason. But wearing gloves does not protect your hands from breaking when you're fighting without gloves. You learn how to kind of hit like this. You see in MMA, they just kind of do this, and they just kind of throw hammer hands like this, and they don't have to worry about it because the gloves is actually protecting the hands from breaking. You fight, without the gloves, you're gonna know it's like, oh crap, my hand hurts really, really badly because I hit this way and wind up breaking their knuckles because they're hitting with the gloves and don't realize it until they take it off. And it's like, crap, that hurts. That hurts a lot.
So yeah, it could definitely be a disadvantage for sure on multiple angles there. She's a musician. Just said the sand dude that push-ups are giving his toe muscles. That's interesting. Cool, bro. So Sand Dude, as well as Chisao Musician, are doing a push-up challenge, the Shaolin push-ups, NDM push-ups. Richard says, love the boots. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I just wanted my feet to be cozy and comfortable, y'all. I was like, I'm just not having it. It's still cold outside. Matthew said, okay, thank you. You're very welcome. Hey, John. Good to see you on. Oh, I saw what AD told me, asked about the 27th. I'll look into that one and see if I can find it. Gary Ray says, salutations. Salutations. It says too much for free. Maybe in actual techniques, yes. Right? No, I agree, Ed. That's what we were talking about. Is it normal to hide your fighting abilities in front of people? What makes the question harder is people who are led to believe they have good ability but don't. But let's say it's Indian skill 2. So, is it normal to fight?
Well, I
abilities.
actually downplay any martial arts skill I ever have.
He does.
All the time. I don't think the average person runs into me has any idea how long I've been trained or what I do or how good or how bad I am. No. I do that for my own sadistic reasons.
I was gonna say it's guile, but okay, I guess that's.
But I tend. There's been several occasions when I came across somebody who had more experience than me, or in terms of years, or might have a bigger following, and I kind of, out of respect, just not really roll on a person. But that's me. That's how I roll.
Yeah.
Because you know why? You never know what you can learn from someone, and people are different. Sifu beat the pride and ego out of me, dude, when he bit my nipple. But we weren't going to talk about nipple biting right now. But the point is, I always approach people with humility, and I always ask myself, what can I learn from every? I tell all my students that even the most unskilled player can teach you something if you're willing to listen and learn. So my philosophy or approach is don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, and I'll just say maybe that. Go ahead, Sifu.
Well, if you talk a big game, you better
Better
play a
back
big
it up,
game.
right?
Yeah, you know.
Better back it up.
I never talk about my skills or anything because you know I'm like anybody else. You know, every dog can have its day. You can mess up
Right.
one time. Every day I do seminars, demos, I'm doing kicks and moves and sweeps and all that. I'm always like, you know, Lord, don't make me miss this pad. If I'm doing a complex kick or a sweep into a jump kick or a jump kick into a sweep, or I'm like, you know, I just pray I don't miss the pad. I pray I don't, you know. I was like, because I know I can make mistakes. I do it a lot. I've done it hundreds of times, but you can always make an error. You can always mess up every time. I'm very humble. And then if I do the technique and I show them how good it is, then like, wow, you're really good. But if I talk a big game and I don't do as good, then it's
My
like,
mess
man,
up is the attack.
you're just a talker, you know. Like, but if you're humble, if you're like, look, I've only been trained. Like, people have asked me, I might have been trained for like 15 years, but I'm like, just a few years. You know, I never talk it up because then it just invites people to bring theirs up and try to overtalk you and everything. It's just you stay humble.
healthy.
You don't need to deal with it.
Not
I don't worry
healthy.
about it. So if they do something, let's say, and they're better than me, hey, I didn't say it was that good anyways, right? I said it was okay. It was mediocre. But if you talk a big game, like I said, you better put up a big game. So it's like there's no point in doing
Well,
that.
I don't think
there's that ego thing. You know,
I think
I just.
Your skill will speak for itself. I don't think you have to speak for it. You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying, like, let's just say the guy was very skillful too. You know,
Well, that's
I didn't
also
talk a
then-
big game and say how great I was, and then he showed me I was nothing. I just say
Well,
I'm not that great. I'm okay. Whatever. I dabble here and there, and then when it's come times to show it, then they're like, "Wow, you're really good." I thought you said you're only a few years. Yeah, I'm only a few years. You know, like there's no reason to invite such a.
They're
To
like,
me, it's prideful.
You're that
It's
guy
prideful.
on that YouTube channel. I seen. You've been
It's
training
prideful.
since you were
To me, I
little.
don't need to talk about it. I don't need to show it. If you want to see it, I'll show it. You know, like demonstration, stuff like that. I don't mind doing that. But I don't like being on display. I just don't like all eyes on me like that. I feel like
Right.
it's like showing off. You know, I don't like that.
So, you can do it to be humble, or you can do it for guile, or maybe a combination thereof. That's basically the gist of it. But yeah, I think most people don't tend to show all their cards. You know what I mean? As the saying goes, gonna have that element of surprise. I imagine would be healthy, and also like, why would you just there's the extreme of that, right? Like you could talk about your abilities in a humble way. Or you could be like some egomaniac about your abilities, and then, like Sifu said, you better build back your stuff up because people are coming for you. So that would not be good. Errol says, never chase the hands. Our job is to get our hands in order to do the damage. Yes, Errol, that's right. Chi Sao musician said Pak Mai is similar to Wing Chun in principle. All right, cool. I'll have to do some more research and see what it's all about.
I think it's Pac May.
May.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Pac
I said
May.
it right the first time.
It's Pac-Man.
My Southern came out at that last bit. I was like, oh, every once in a while it just comes out. I can't help it. Jacob Davis says, good evening, Sifu. Could you touch on sensitivity and the transfer of energy and how to know what technique to use to strike, please? And thank you.
Oh, that's a good question.
Let's take a poll on that one. Listen, sensitivity teaches you three things, right? When, where, and how much. That's what the whole point of sensitive. Feeling the person's intent, when they're doing it, and how much you're doing it. So that's the point of sensitivity, is to feel their intent for those three things. In terms of technique, what to hit, do it. As long as you follow the principles and you can make the target, it doesn't matter. It's like saying, what two numbers should I make equal 10? It doesn't matter as long as it's equal 10, right? So in terms of what technique you want to use, as long as it's working with the technique, follows the principle. Like I always use this principle with my students. Do you have the intent to hit? Can you do half a second or less? If it's longer than that, don't use it. If it doesn't have the intent to hit, then throw it out the window. It's not going to work anyways. So you have to follow along those two viability questions. However you want to hit, whether you hit with open palm, fingers, knuckles, forearms, elbows, should you strike turning your hip, this, that, it doesn't matter. As long as you create the intent to hit within a half a second or less, it doesn't matter how. And what matters is, I should say, it doesn't matter what you're hitting with. It's how you're hitting with. That's what matters. Rooting, turning the waist, sending energy through three-proof into the wrist. That's the key to generating that power. So whether I strike this way and I'm doing this, whether I strike this way, whether I strike this way, I'm still using the root, driving the three-proof, and using the wrist to create the impact to do whatever it is I'm hitting with, whether it's my wrist, forearms, elbows, hips, whatever it is. So the goal is have that intent, do it in half a second or less. When you're feeling someone's energy, however they're moving, if you can take it on point, never take it to the motion, and that's how you'll be able to handle any pressure and create the attack off of it. Whether you hit or not, that depends on the person's skill level to counter you or not. So they could be skilled enough to counter you, then you have to be skilled enough to feel that intent and then kind of reverse it back, like how quickly they can bring the hands out.
Yep.
Or legs out, or body.
And I think this would actually be good. I just went and did a search on our YouTube channel and found the different lessons on the Wu Sao. You talk a lot about the no Wu, no you and stuff like that, and it's a good place for them to kind of transition and not have to worry about like what should I do and just feel it out as it goes. So I'm going to put that in there.
You're asking me a question, or you're asking me to explain it?
She's telling you what she's going to do. That's different. She's demanding.
No, I'm sending them the links. So we already did the videos. I'm not gonna make you have to tell them again. I'm sending them the videos so they can go check it out for themselves. And members, there's more on the Wu Sao and stuff on the site as well. But this is the free stuff that I'm going to share out for everyone to go check out. All right. And I'll also make sure to put that out over on Facebook.
Man, I really just want some donuts, dude, or like some like chicken francis, chicken dumplings.
I checked. Larry can't throw sonic booms. He doesn't.
Maybe
need
mashed potatoes.
Booms.
I'm so hungry over here.
Are you okay over there?
No, I drank beet juice.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She saw me just said, thanks, Seafood. Timothy says, I am a Neigong guy and read a lot of traditional Chinese medicine, but style and skill in heart is lacking. Well, you can come train with us and we'll help you. Basically, everything's lacking. Well, we can help you get unlacking if you'd like. You can come join the site at entershaolin.com/joy. We'd like to help you feel good about your training.
The question is, are you lacking because you're slacking?
Are you lacking? Right. Well, it kind of sounds like it, maybe a little bit.
Man, just go fight a grizzly bear. And that'll make you feel alive again, man. That's all.
Go
fight a grizzly
bear. Yeah, there you go.
Man, my advice is so worthless. I'm not really helpful at all, I don't think.
Oh, Jacob said thank you. All right. I think I'm going back through and seeing if we have any other questions.
Emmett had a question.
No woo, no you.
Yo, bro, calm down.
I was ready to fight you.
I have a question. He has a question, y'all. How do we do 3-proof for an uppercut? Do we sink into the root or push off the root? Boxer's uppercut seems like they make the arm lag behind the shoulder.
Well, again, 3-proof is always about getting that shoulder, elbow, wrist to point, right? Obviously, you can sink into it through the root. And when you uppercut, the main thing is always feel like you're driving the elbow to get underneath the wrist in the end. Always feel that way. Whether you do or not, it doesn't matter. No, if I can uppercut like this, I can. But my elbow is always driving towards my wrist. A lot of people will hit and they may extend their arm out. That's going to lose a lot of power. They have to compensate that with a lot of shoulder muscle. So if we're going like this and she's going to hold my arm, just hold my arm like this.
Hold it. Okay.
Yeah. So if I go like this and I'm trying to bring an uppercut, let's go lower, and I try to bring this up like this, it's a lot of pressure on my shoulder. The key is again, get the base, get the drive, hold it if you can. To drive up and bring it up that way. So get the elbow to always put that pressure into the wrist. Like I said, my mindset is always to get my elbow to be underneath my wrist when I uppercut. I don't bring it like this. See how my elbow doesn't like it wants to go forward? It looks like I'm lifting something up. I actually want to get my elbow underneath it and drive that uppercut up this way. When you hit that way, it's way, way different. So it's like she's just going to hold this like this towards her body. Okay. So you're just going to do that. Okay?
Should we go over here? Yeah.
So when you're doing like an uppercut, right, and you're going like this, you're like this, that's a lot of pressure up here. So you're like this. Even if I do that way, I'm going to put the elbow underneath. It's a lot different. It's a lot better for you, and it generates more power, and it uses less energy. Because you're not going like this and letting your shoulder drive. I'm actually like trying to get my elbow underneath, and it can drive up much, much better. So I'm always going to hit where I want the elbow to feel like it's getting underneath the wrist. So it's like, it's a lot of power. I bend the knees because obviously when you're going through like an uppercut low, you got to get below them, right? So my natural turn is like this. So I would have to kind of bend my knees to get that power. I would have turned the hip. Turning the hip helps drive the elbow. Put the underneath the wrist, and you can get that power that way. If I do it like this, where I don't get the elbow underneath the wrist, that's a lot of pressure on my shoulder. Okay, so it wouldn't have as much power as if you were to put that elbow underneath the wrist. That's how you want to create that power in your hit on your uppercuts.
Good stuff, good stuff. Hopefully that helped you out. Let us know, brother. All right, let's go see if there was any other stuff. Yeah, Becky says, yes, the uppercut, best punch. All right. Same dude said that you told me you should train what feels good unless you're training with Sifu or Sifu Larry. Oh, you guys are funny. You guys are funny. Let's see who is over on Facebook. Mark says, hi, what are some of the easiest pressure points to access to subdue your opponents?
Well, first off, understand certain pressure points will not be effective. All techniques on pressure points aren't always effective.
What?
Okay. Some people are very on drugs. They don't feel pain. Okay. Some people are very angry. There's adrenaline flowing. Some people have very thick arms, and so it's hard to get into their nerves, or it's hard to get into the bone, or hard to hit into that bone, or hard to squeeze. Striking techniques are much better when you want to hit points than it is for squeezing or pushing pressure points. Like me, I have a high tolerance. There are other people who have high tolerance, so it may not hurt them. So it's like I can go like this to her, make a fist, make a tight fist. I go like this to her. She's feeling it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but you know.
She can hold it. She does that to me. I can tolerate that pain.
What am I doing?
Just
Is it
squeeze
right
the
here?
muscle right in the fibers, right there. And I can hold my fist and hold that because I have very high tolerance. So people can take certain type of pressure points.
Come on.
Okay.
Oh,
Come on.
what,
Do
you want
it.
me to do it to
Do
you?
it.
Okay.
Do it. Do it. I don't feel nothing.
And certain people who, again, that's why striking pressure points is much easier than it is to hit pressure points. In terms of like what's very effective pretty much all the time, the cavity strikes are one of the best strikes you can create because most people, I don't care how big, how tough you are, when you hit cavity points, they feel it, okay? And the reason why is because cavity points, like I said, it's just big open area, heavy, and you could hit into that. Like your throat is a very good point here. You hitting that, you block the airway, cause them not to be able to breathe. They'll drop because they can't breathe.
Yeah.
Okay, pressure points can work on some people, and it may not work at all on other people. You got a girl trying to like hit a pressure point on a guy. You have to have enough force. That's the thing. That's why striking is a pressure point is better than trying to hit into a pressure point. Can you generate enough strength to do that? Girls generally cannot produce enough strength to overcome a guy who's very strong. But when you strike it, you can because you can generate more energy. So any type of pressure point where you have to do pushing type, it's really, really not as effective as striking, especially when the guy's got a high tolerance or the guy's conditioned or the guy can take pain. Joint locking is much more effective than it is striking pressure points. She can take this, like, right? So if I go like this, can you make a fist? She can muscle, oh, maybe she can't.
Not on this side.
All right, let's try this side.
Yeah.
So, like, just squeeze here,
That's my bad side.
right? But if you go into a joint,
No, that
joint
hurt
lock,
way less than this side. Whew,
joint,
that sounds
people
not
can
fun.
submit to a joint lock. People may not submit to a pressure point. There are people, like I said, very skilled, very tough, or very tolerant. They got conditioned to it, like people who do judo or jujitsu, or where they're just used to feeling all that pressure. But when you joint lock someone, you don't take it. Okay, joints aren't made to be dislocated. They're not made to come out of socket. So when you lock someone's joint out, they submit very, very quickly. When you hit someone's pressure point or you squeeze someone, they may be able to take it. Again, hitting has a much higher chance of hurting someone
if you guys are
than
fighting,
pushing
their adrenaline's
someone's
already high. If they're on drugs,
yeah, so it's
so.
very, very, very difficult to pressure point everybody and get that same effect that you think you're going to get. Because, like I said, even hitting pressure points, unless you're trained in hitting and know how to hit with that acceleration, know how to focus that point, there are people who can take a lot. However, joints you can't. Joints you cannot. This is why, like, if I go like this, hold me tight as you can. I might be able to hit her arm, and she might be able to take it. I'm going to use less energy, and I can still get out of it. And that's because I can lock the joint, not affect the muscle. And in which case, if I do techniques like this, you know, I can lock into the joint and see how she wants it.
I gotta interject for a second. I challenged the man to let this dude hammer fist your arm and go, I'm taking it. Challenge anybody. I don't know, Sifu. You'll break somebody's arm. Yeah, they might take it. Pow! What? You just broke his arm in half, bro.
Well, exactly. That's not everybody. Well, again, you have to be trained. That's why I said you have to know how to generate that power. You have to know how to do that. But there are people who are very conditioned who won't. But nobody really has conditioning in the joints because one, joints can't really toughen up. Okay, they just can't. You lock out the joint, you'll drop the guy. Drop him very quickly. Okay, that's why I can use just my finger here, or her little pinky right here, and cause her to just want to drop.
That's lovely.
But if I squeeze her pressure point like this and she tightens up, she may not want to go down because she could tolerate that pain. Joint locking is much more effective than the pressure point. So it's much better if you learn how to joint.
Nipple biting.
Nipple biting is a pressure point too.
Right.
But biting with the jaw, it's a
sensitive
very
area.
powerful point. So you
Very
can, when you
sensitive
bite,
area.
you can do a lot of damage.
Oof. Actually, funny enough, we were doing an orientation with a new member, Jeffrey, earlier, and we were talking about China, which is what we do with our pressure points and locks and all that good stuff, and joint manipulation. So if you're a member, you can find out all kinds of points and all kinds of good stuff under the China section. If you're not a member, you go to Shaolin.com/join and become a member and get access to that and so much more. We might have a sale soon. We're debating on that. We'll get back to y'all. I'm gonna talk it over with the dudes and see what they think. But
Yeah, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be a backwards sale.
it's a backwards sale.
Yeah, it's a backwards sale.
What does that
if you
mean?
don't buy it now, it's gonna be more expensive tomorrow. And if you don't buy it tomorrow, it's gonna be more
Oh, so it's
expensive
gonna
the
be
next day.
kicker. Oh, like those product ones where we used to like buy different products. Like what was it like?
Yeah, we do no marketing whatsoever.
That-
That's a schlep. We really are
It'd be
schleps.
like someone just bought. Now it's 10 cents more. Like somebody yeah. Maybe we'll do that. That could be fun. It'll be a little bit different.
You should just do it for like one lifetime Abbott membership. Let the people bid for that.
That'd be interesting. How much someone would pay for it?
Maybe we should do a bidding war. That could be interesting.
The last one. When we close down that membership, we'll do one last one.
One last.
We'll auction it off.
That's what we'll do. Oh, that'd be fun.
And it's a private one. You don't know what other people are bidding. You put the bid you think that would be the best.
Right.
So you don't tell, nobody can see it. You just have one time to bid.
Oh, they only get one time to bid.
Right. So it's called a dark bid.
Oh,
So
no.
nobody knows
Let
what
me turn
everybody's
this on.
bidding. You only get to put in
That's
what you
actually
bid.
good too. I like that better, so no one knows. But
No,
here's how
I
I
want them to be like, what? That person paid how much? I'm getting it for X. I want them to.
I want to say, so the reason why we're even talking about this is because we will be upgrading Enter Shaolin in the near future.
Very, very near future.
Whoever's an Abbott member right now will always maintain their Abbott benefits.
Yep.
We're going to take that off of the sales pages, and the only way to get an Abbott membership maybe will be through like some special sale. I don't know. But we're going to take it off the market.
Yeah,
It's
probably
not off
like
the
a
market
month,
right
yeah.
now, but we're going to do what everybody else does, which is just offer a monthly membership. Maybe at an outrageous price that nobody's going to want to pay. We'll see.
Okay then. You heard it from Sifu Larry. There you go. John says, agreed. Sand Dude, muscle memory takes a long time. Man, you guys, for reals. Absolutely. Baki says, hey Sifu, have you read The Rational Male by Rollo Tomasi?
No.
No.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't either. I can't help you on that one. Do you know?
I didn't hear the question. I just thought it was funny.
Baki asked if Sifu had read The Rational Male by Rollo
I
Tomasi.
gotta be honest, man. It sounds foreign to me.
Okay, I gotta look it up now because you guys going
I'm on
crazy.
McDonald's read. You know what
The
I'm saying?
Bible of the Red Pill. Okay, all right.
I took the blue pill.
Oh my Lord. Okay, so hey, we're gonna all learn today. The Rational Male by Rollo Tomasi. Apparently, it was put out October 1st, 2013, so it's not that old.
You got to read before you say it.
Uh-oh. Is it bad? Hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no. Alrighty.
Do I need to censor something?
What? Well then, I got nothing. Moving on. Moving on. Just keep scrolling. Okay. All right, police.
Before you jump.
Well, thankfully I did. Thanks to Sifu's warning. He's like, yo, girl, hold up. Don't read no more. Just stop. Just see, look, we can cut each other off. We okay. It's all good. Polini says, stab at the point of contact, not the target. The target or opposite can move? Question mark.
What?
I don't know. I think we were talking about like weapon
Stab at
strikes
the
and
point of
stuff.
not the target.
So I guess he's saying, is there something different between the target and the point of contact?
Well, whatever you're stabbing is the point of contact and what you're targeting to do. So,
Right.
you know,
Or it should be basically that should be your target, right? The point of contact.
wherever it is, yeah, that's your target. Whatever
Yeah.
you're hitting, that's your target. And when you hit it, you hit into the point. You don't
If
want
you
to
have
hit
a
to push
different
them away.
target, it's probably not gonna work out. Make it the same.
So let me break it down. So what he's saying is wherever flesh meets, that's the target.
And that's the contact.
And that's the point of contact. Okay.
There you go. Don't overthink it or you're gonna miss it. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Toby said, leopard and snake are my favorite animals to train. No matter how much I try, I can't get tired of work. Maybe to see Sifu in person for that. Well, brother.
Who said this?
It's Toby. We can talk more about that tomorrow on the members webinar. Just
Do a video so I
Yeah.
can see what you're doing with the tiger, so I can actually see your body mechanics and then see where you're putting your energy.
we'll make some tweaks.
And I can help you with that.
Yeah, good stuff. John says, I heard push-up challenge. What are we doing? I love push-ups. You're gonna have to ask Sam Dude. He came up with it originally, but I will say we are going to be launching a overall health challenge sometime next week. So, and we're debating if we're gonna make it for members only or if we're gonna open it up. More
I have a
details coming
challenge. I got a better challenge. Here,
Oh.
look. You want a push-up challenge? Here's a push-up challenge. Now, every day, Monday through Sunday. Now, here's the
Monday through
rules.
Sunday.
You have a slight fever. If you don't feel too up to it, that's irrelevant. That's all irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
7 days a week, from now until you die, do one set of push-ups to absolute failure. Every day.
What's absolute failure? Because I think most people don't.
When
have a
you're
good
doing your
absolute
last
failure.
push-up and you're going, ah, and you're asking God to come down and help you through it, that's the last
And you
one.
can't get up still, even after you beg.
And you just gotta do it one time.
Above.
Just do it one time,
You're done.
every
That's
single
it.
day, as far as you can go, and do it for the rest of your life. That's legit training. That's how you get it done. That's how you win. Bam.
Bam. All right. I like that. Good stuff. There you go. There is a challenge for you. And yes, actually part of the challenge will be core training related stuff. So this will be really, really cool.
So I'm starting a donut challenge.
Yo, I'm sure there's a couple people on here that will join your donut challenge. I'm gonna I'm gonna live to like 150 plus challenge.
Everybody has their own challenges.
I mean, to each their own.
I gotta eat as many as I can.
So you're checking out, huh? Is this like suicide by donut? Like, what is this? I mean, Lord, whew, that's rough. That is rough. Chisa Musician said, does anyone ever fight with two katanas simultaneously, and is it practical?
Katanas?
Yeah, katanas. Two
Blades?
katanas.
Today? No. I mean, it's not today. I mean, it's just more, that's more for training purposes.
Yeah.
It's just not applicable. People would use guns over knives any day. You know, if they have the
Most
choice.
places you can't carry open swords like that, anyways. It's against the law in most places. Though apparently in Texas you can. Hey. So the people that want to do that, that's where you need to go. Granted, I wonder what they would do if you had two. Like, is there like a limit to how many swords you can carry?
Well, listen, a
Openly in
katana
public?
sword is actually made to be two hands on one weapon. That's what it's for. So when you do it in one hand, it's actually not as
It's not as
advantageous.
good, right?
Yeah, a katana is a two-hand weapon. It's not a one-hand weapon. Like a Tai Chi blade, that's a one-hand weapon. A katana sword is a two-hand weapon. So it's made to have two hands on it to be effective.
So you would be very efficient. Don't do that.
Not to say that you can't do it with, with one hand. It's just it's not made for that. It's the blade is too, or the handle's too long. That's why it's made like that. So you can use your hands to create that quick slicing motion. The Tai Chi sword is different because it's made to cut, not arc and slice. Now, whichever is better, that comes down to the practitioner. All weapons have advantages and disadvantages to it. You can find, a guy who does the katana sword beat a guy with the Tai Chi sword, and you'll find a guy who's trained well with the Tai Chi sword to beat a katana sword. It just comes down to the practitioner. Weapons have advantages and disadvantages. It comes down to the person who's actually using that weapon, know how to use it well. Because both have a length, both have the ability to do damage in one cut, one strike, So it's like who can cut who first, and whoever the skilled person is, he can end it. A fencer, fighting a katana guy, if he gets that stab right into his throat before the guy can slow down, he's going to win. If the guy can slice down the fencer's blade, he'll probably break it first. And so it all comes down to the user, how you use it.
So True Grover says, to what degree do Kung Fu sashes go, and how effective do you think online training is versus live instruction? We don't personally do sashes here. Traditionally, there was no sash system. It's more like a business model. You know what I mean?
Every school has their own type of color of
Yeah, I
sashes.
was going to say. some have
I
more
do
than
want to say
others.
this about online training.
Yes. yes.
Believe it or not, so I'm going back before Enter Tai Chi, right? I would take lessons, and we would get bored, me and the people I would be training with, and so we would watch Master Wang. I'm like, yeah, man, can we do this stuff? So we would just try to beat each other up, some Master Wang stuff, because why not? What else,
Try stuff out, right?
It seemed like something to do. But the reality is, I think that you can learn a lot from online training. I mean, certainly I see Sifu do stuff and I go, oh my God, I can't believe he's sharing that with people.
People learn stuff from books all the time.
However,
that are Kung Fu related.
we wrote a really big, we wrote a longer article called The Three Pillars of Training.
I'll pull it up and send it over to everyone.
And we talk about the things you can learn online and the things you can't learn online, right? Because you can't get a full education.
You can learn a
that way.
lot. by yourself.
However, I would challenge anyone, or I'd be remiss to think, like, most people who are training in martial arts are like secret type people, they're either searching for their truth or the truth, or they're trying to push their bodies to their absolute limits. I mean, martial artists are a special type of breed of human being. So I would think that all forms of knowledge would just increase your knowledge. So I don't think that online training is bad at all. I don't think it's the be-all, end-all of training. And I think that's where, some teachers will be like, oh, you can't learn nothing online. Well, then
they're wrong.
They're just stuck in their ways. And in some ways, that's a roadblock for them because they're not able to keep learning and growing because now their cup is too full and they're not listening to the advice that they're giving their students. So I think it's important that you learn from every single source. I mean, dude, we're living in 2022. You can learn about every single martial art under the sun, and you can watch techniques, and you can watch how energy moves. And so I think it's an amazing time to be a martial artist because the secrets or whatever the heck that mumbo jumbo stuff is, there is none, right? Everything's out in the open. Check it out for yourself.
Yeah.
I will say there's a lot of bad stuff on the internet. I mean, there's some good
But
stuff
there's a
online.
lot of bad stuff off the internet too.
There's just a lot of bad stuff. And if you don't really know what you don't know, I told a story once where if you walk into 7 different martial arts schools and all 7 teachers beat the crap out of you, which one's better?
Right.
Which style is the better style? Right? You don't know because all 7 of them beat you up. So every time you walked into somebody's school, you just walked into the best style you've ever seen, and you can multiply that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you don't know, and I think it's best to have an open mind and let your logic override everything, right? Like what I like about what we do is everything we do is based off of principles and physics. You know what I mean? So Yeah, seek the truth. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have like, I'll send you guys, I already sent a couple of blog posts and stuff over that we did about 3 pillars of training, which Sifu, Larry was just talking a little bit about, and also like training online. And we have a couple other ones, so I'll probably send those over either today or next week because I see what time it is. But yeah, you can do a lot of training online if you're training right and you're learning right from a good teacher, but you can't do everything online.
No. Okay. All those points too is like I was gonna say, like you can be training online, have a not online, live person, and have a bad teacher.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. It comes down to the teaching and whether they can break it down and make it effective for you. A lot of people, there's techniques, right? And people can use skill in terms of energy control, manipulation, conversion of energy, you know, all that stuff. Or if they can't do that, they'll use strength to compensate for that. I always like to say what people lack in skill, they make up in strength. So your job is as a student is to learn how to effectively do this without trying to strain your body too much. So techniques are taught online that you can learn. You can get a good teacher who breaks down the principle, teaches how to use that technique properly. We have a lot of students who actually been online and they train too in school and they practice what they've been learning with the techniques that they learn with us, and they do it in the school. And people are like, "What are you doing?" Like they can't see it because first off, their teacher's not teaching the techniques the way we teach it. So there's always advantages and disadvantages to everything. Okay?
Yep.
Books and videos have the advantage of telling you what to do right, if they're good teaching, let's say.
It still has to be good teaching at the end of the day, right?
The bad thing is they can't tell what you're doing wrong. Okay?
Right, they have no way to critique
And
you.
because now here's the difference. At Enter Shaolin, we do.
Yep.
Because you can actually record yourself, do the videos, and whatever technique you practice, whether it's your form, whether you're doing a technique, whether you're sparring, whatever, and we actually are able to watch the video, and I can actually see what you're doing wrong. Okay? I don't have to be there live to see it. I can actually see your energy. I actually had a student that was learning from another country, and he said he couldn't do this technique to this guy who was he was a physical trainer. He couldn't do the technique to him. The guy was strong enough to fight him. So he put me on the WhatsApp video. I watched what he did, and I told him how to correct it, and the guy dropped on the floor. Okay? Again, the good thing about live training is it's actually allowing you to test what you practice. That's the point of live training. So you can see how good or how bad you've been training to reveal the bad techniques or show you your good techniques. Okay? So I actually just watched him on the video. Let's say she's grabbing my arm like this, and he's going like this, and don't let me take you down. He's like this. I'm like, and I basically said, listen, you got to take your hand and roll right over top. Get your hand to be horizontal over top. Get your elbow over top, and then you can bring him down. So when he did that, that guy dropped on the floor. And it's just because I instructed him right there and there. I wasn't even next to him. I just watched him. Whether I'm next to him or not, I just have to see it. I can see where your energy is going. So with the good thing is about doing the online training with Enter Shaolin, you're not alone. Exactly. You're not there just watching. You have no communications. You can always write to us. You can always send in videos as an Abbott member. And I say that's an Abbott member.
Well, even our regular members on the member Q&As that we do, you can come and do those. We do shorter ones because obviously we want to help more people or whatever in those ones. But if you're
we've been doing Thursdays webinars for only Shaolin members.
Right, we could do like live critiques and everything.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, there's multiple ways.
That's the advantage of learning online with us. Whereas if you go to another site, it's just you and the site. There's nobody helping you. There's no live person on the other end to help you. Here, CJ James is always writing to people, talking to people. We do video critiques, like I said.
Orientation.
You have the ability to comment, and we comment you back when we can. So you're not just like, yeah, I'm by myself. I have nobody.
Or just buying a course, right? Where you, because Sifu, Larry, and I, we've bought tons of online courses because we just learn and do a lot of stuff online and everything. And we've bought plenty of courses where there's no way to submit any feedback or ask questions unless you want to just email their support. But there's no comment section. There's no, weekly webinars and different things to get that extra one-on-one attention. So that's what makes it different. But yeah, so can you learn online? Absolutely.
Yeah, it depends on who you're learning from.
If you're learning from people that, are putting, the time and effort to, teach you the what, why, and why nots and stuff and everything like that, like what we do here at Shaolin, then absolutely. But it's the same with anything else. If it's good teaching, it's good teaching.
Yeah, learning from somebody on live does not mean you're learning well. It just depends on how he's teaching.
Unfortunately, right?
So
if only.
That's why there's good teachers and bad teachers, right? There's people who are bullies, and there are people who are musclers, and there are good people too. So don't get me wrong, there are good teachers out there. Good practitioners who are good teachers. And just remember, just because you're a good practitioner does not mean you're a good teacher. You may not have the skills to break it down. A great race car driver does not necessarily know how to engineer a great car. It doesn't mean he just knows how to use it. He doesn't know how to build it. A teacher has to have the ability to do both most of the time.
Yep.
So you just have to find a good teacher. And like I said, learning online to supplement bad techniques, that's why you want to go here, because we break down everything through the science. I don't teach anybody to do anything through strength or force, okay? Or excessive force, I should say. You have to use force, but not excessive force. The key is to learn how to manipulate the energy, not try to overwhelm the energy. If that's the case, then go to the gym, get bigger, and get stronger. And I'm not saying being bigger and stronger is a bad thing, but using that to rely on when someone's fighting you is not a good thing, unless you're way stronger than them.
Yep.
Now, if they're way stronger than you, then obviously that's not going to work too well for you. And that's where learn to manipulate energy, learn how to control the force. That's where it has advantages.
Ralph says, Sifa's breakdown, if you become a member, is the true gospel truth, simple and broke down to good explanation. Thanks. Thank you. Luke says, oh, I'm late. Unfortunately, but you can watch the replay right afterwards, so it's all good. Just, you can always comment underneath and let us know if you have any questions later on. We can cover them next week for you. John says, if you love martial arts and Indian Inner Shaolin membership gives you access to the Michael Jordan of martial arts, brain and knowledge 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You need the knowledge first, then apply it. Thank you, John. That was awesome. He told me so I'll be recording the vid with Tiger, Snake, and Leopard for tomorrow. Thank you. Awesome. He's like, I really want to utilize the animals in my sparring. Cool. Well, we will help you troubleshoot that, brother, tomorrow. True Grover says, that makes sense. Do you all teach Northern or Southern? Southern.
Southern, mostly.
Yep, mostly Southern. And True Grover, and anyone else that's new watching this, underneath the video or in the description above if you're on Facebook, you can just click to go check out our free ebook and 5-day free videos to learn a little bit more about what No Neck Knot is and what we do here at Enter Shaolin. And then you can decide if you want to, learn further with us or not. All is good, all is well. Wing Chun in application, which is Clint, says the app membership was worth every penny. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Aiden told us, even though they make me spar in boxing gloves, oh, yeah, brother, that sucks. And Aiden Toby says the ABBA is well worth it. Thank you. Cindy says I'll record a video too. I don't know the form, but I'll do what I feel. Okay, cool. All right. Looks like you guys are good. True Grover says I'm very interested. I'll also put it, I'll just put it in the chat too for you guys and gals real quick. So you can go check that out. There you go. I'll do that over here on Facebook. Just make sure we didn't miss any comments over here. Marco says thanks for the answer. Or sorry, Mark says thanks for the answer. Show us some joint locks that are easy to apply. You know what? Do you want to do that maybe next week? All right. I'm going to put that down, Mark, for next week. And we will do just one technique for you. I'll have to save that later. Okay. And Marco says strawberry donuts and fish pizza. What?
Yeah, I can do some.
That's the anchovies.
The anchovies?
That's anchovies.
I'm assuming anchovies.
Well,
I mean,
crab pizza's good. Shrimp
but that's not
pizza's
fish.
good.
That's not fish.
See,
That's seafood.
Yeah, you can look. I'm Italian. Well, I got half, so I'm 49%.
That's most of you, man. You're way less mixed than my sorry, but good lord.
So, pizza. The only thing I think that can't go on pizza is pineapple. Man, it's very controversial.
I love pineapple pizza.
But you can put
His
fish
kids-
on the
your
pizza.
kid-
You can put dog on pizza.
Hold
It
on.
probably tastes
Ew,
good.
no. First of all, Not a clean animal. Don't be eating your pets, y'all.
What about armadillo?
It's not considered clean either.
Iguana?
No reptiles.
Skunk.
Anyhow, moving on. I see.
Skunk pizza might be good. You don't know.
I see pineapples are in. Your kids agree. My child agrees. Half the internet agrees. Half the internet agrees with you.
Yeah, that's my next. That could be the next poll. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Yay or nay, right? There you go. Good stuff. The pizza dough is the fish. What?
That's interesting. So fish and cheese. I'm digging that too.
Is it fish with like tomato sauce and cheese on top? I don't know. But anyways, that sounds interesting.
I'm in.
Apparently, Seafood Larry's in. Hey, Jack. I'm not here, but strength, peace. Okay, peace, brother. True Grover says, I appreciate. Right, I know, right? True Grover says, I appreciate you all. He's not here. Don't ask, dude. He's not here. Did you just hear him? He just pieced you out. I don't.
Invisible cloak.
Maybe he's got an invisible
Like,
cloak. I'm not sure.
But be there all at the same time.
I'm not sure. True Grover says, I appreciate you all taking the time to speak with us and answer questions. Thank you. You're so welcome.
He wants a quick
Alberta
demo
says,
of the 5 animals. Well, yeah, we'll line Jamie, CJ here, and we'll have Sifu Fu Striker with every single animal strike. That'd be great. Be like 5 seconds long. What do you say, guys?
hey, Aiden Toby.
A little too long.
How about maybe we'll cover that tomorrow? Just remind me and the members, you know why? Because just no.
You wanna just get hurt?
And we'll make sure it's actually recorded this time because I mean I got hurt last time and thrown around like a rag doll for nothing. Okay, like at least if there's a video, I feel a little bit better because you guys can learn from it, and those that got to watch the replay can still access it. But
Which was that one where I hit you in the gut? And you, oh! You went
no,
right for it.
that was the other. That was the time before.
You just been beating
Oh, wait.
up every week. It's great.
Yeah, I just been getting beat up a
I
lot.
like it.
It's good for the soul and the spirit for sure. Albert says this thing told me that I used to be the same and I am now. What? Okay. Trevor, I don't know what I think you are, but I mean, I hope you're not a black hole in your kitchen. What? Okay, y'all, it's getting strange up in here. Teresa, I asked about forearm brands earlier. Do you mean bands? Because we don't
brands.
We don't believe in branding yourself. If that's what you're asking, okay? Because if that's what we're talking about, no.
He's talking about there's a scene in Kung Fu, the series.
Is your speaker on?
Yeah, put your arms around a huge urn.
What is he talking about?
Yeah, you talking about when they grab the urn in Kung Fu,
Mark
the
their forearms, yeah.
to mark their forearms because the Shaolin dudes did
That's
it.
probably what he's talking about. If so, I'm gonna say, I ain't burning myself on no one. Okay, the Lord made me clean like this for a reason. There's no markings on my body, so we're gonna keep it that way. But you do you, bro. I mean, if that's your thing, I mean, don't let me stop you. I mean, I'll try to stop you probably if I'm there. I'll be like, are you sure you want to do this, bro? You probably shouldn't do it. Just make sure to really disinfect yourself if you do. Okay, just like take care of it. You don't want to get an infection. Oh, Adi told me I didn't ask him to strike anyone, but okay. Well, see, you gotta realize in our heads, when you say 5 animals, we just think of carnage and just being attacked and hit and maimed. And so how could you have a demonstration without it? I mean, like, it just doesn't make sense in our brains. You don't know how much we've been hit around here, y'all. But yeah, we can do more of one on there. And I think we might actually on Facebook, or not Facebook, probably on Facebook too, but on YouTube, I think we have a couple of free, 5 animal things they can go check out for sure. John says, okay, you guys are talking back and forth. Got you. All right, cool. All right, well, I think everyone is good. Oh, Chisami says, does Steve's grandpa have forearm brands from the 36 Chambers?
Oh,
and where are yours?
He's asking me where mine are?
Well, did your grandfather have them, and where are yours?
Nope. Wasn't certified.
We kick it old school around here. No Brandon, bro.
Mine's on my head, but my hair grew over it, so you can't really see it.
I think it might be there for real. No, I'm kidding. But I'm just cracking up. John's cracking up. Oh, all right, family. Becky says, question, Sifu style converts human level strength, and he has fought a guy on steroids. Did it change things? Have you ever fought a guy on steroids? Probably not that you know of, right?
I've known guys who had steroids on them, and I fought them.
Right.
But were they on steroids at that time?
We
I don't know. I know they used it.
But what you don't understand in our system is the more strength and like the more you're trying to force on the person, the easier it is to hurt you. So
you gotta understand, it's the speed that makes the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, the force doesn't make the difference in terms of impact. Once you impact, the strength doesn't matter. The speed of intercepting that's what you're trained to do. Once you connect, then it won't really matter after that, because we can convert the difference. But the question is, can you get your hands to intercept at that time when they're throwing the punches? That's where your training is. Because you can be like, let's say she throws a straight punch, right? And I go, she'd have hit me by that, you know, like she punched me again, and I go, oh, I'd be dead. You know, the key is to get in there and get the counter back. And when she's putting all that weight in, I can turn the energy off. If I'm going like this, and again, this is where you see the technique is off. And now, anytime you feel like you're struggling to take a technique out, you're muscling. I mean, you are muscling. You should not have to use your strength, or I still say, it's like this. Your body can feel stress. It can't strain. So if you feel stress on impact and you do the technique and you're under stress, that's fine. But if you're straining to do it, that's not fine.
right.
Okay, stress is pressure. Straining is you fighting to maintain that pressure, overcoming that pressure. That's no good. You got to maintain the same pressure. That's why we also talk about COP, right? Consistency of pressure. It can't increase. Increasing means that you're fighting back. That's the only way pressure can increase. That you're both, like, obviously, as a default, they're always forcing on you. If your pressure increases as they're forcing on you, you're fighting them first. Or actually, you're fighting them second, I should say. They're fighting you first. But you're fighting them back. The goal is never to feel that pressure increase.
If they're not forcing you, be wary.
Just hit them. If they're not forcing you, just hit them.
Just hit them. There you go. Hey, Sarthak, coming in from India. Good to see you on. We're wrapping it up. We're actually way past what we were supposed to be, but we've been chit-chatting, and you guys have all been chit-chatting back and forth, so it's all good. But feel free to watch the replay, and welcome. If it's your first time, make sure you check the descriptions, all kinds of links and more information for you. And to Sandude and Errol and Ed and John and 80 Toby and probably Clint and Chisao Musician and probably a couple others that are on here, we will see you guys tomorrow. And hopefully some of our gals will be on as well. All right, family, we love you guys and gals. You know how to reach us. You can go to shaolin.com/contact anytime. If you don't remember how to contact us, multiple ways. Call us, email us. Let us know how we can help you. And we will see you guys and gals next week. Or if you remember, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Rent a plane, fly it over South Jersey.
Hey family, what you just saw is just a little bit of sparring techniques and principles that we want to keep in how we attack your opponent. Okay, first off, we don't believe in defense, we believe in offense or counteroffensive techniques. So what you saw was us hitting points, not trying to defend against points. So these videos are here designed to teach you how to change your mindset. First off, like I said, we don't defend, we attack, we counterattack. So once we understand that, now we have to find the technique behind that. So our job is to learn how to strike the points, not try to block points, get into the target, not get the target away from us. So when you see videos of people, they're always thinking, showing self-defense or getting rid of the punch, and then they try to find the attack. The problem with that is you're always receiving pressure. So we want to say he throws a punch, we hit them. We hit them. So now we put pressure into them. So this way, we're not receiving pressure. The problem with receiving pressure is you have to deal with it, and you have to absorb it or repel it. We don't want to do that. We want to create the attack. So we want to learn how to create the counterattack or attack techniques. And what do I mean by that is, as he throws the punch, as you see, I am not trying to get the block and waiting for it to come and withstanding the pressure. I'm not going to try and push him away from me. The problem is, if someone is strong, they'll take us. If he hits, I hit back too. The difference is when I hit precise, I hit small, I hit on purpose, I hit with intent, I hit with control. That is what we're trying to teach you through these videos, these series, to change your mindset and change your body's ability to control energy as opposed to resist energy or absorb energy. So thank you for the interest of watching NDN, and we do appreciate your support. And